Like, or if you miss a day, you can check it, see what we did, and take your own notes so that you're ready for whatever quiz you missed. All right, but I had you do, I think, example 5 through 7. Sorry, it's a little bit blurry. But here's how you should have labeled your triangle. All right, so in that far corner, we're looking from the observer to the hot air balloon. And it says the distance from the observer to the hot air balloon launching site is 206 feet. So that's why the bottom of this triangle is labeled 206 feet. All right, and then you're using the angle of elevation or depression to find the height x in feet from the hot air balloon. So we're using this angle, which is 39 degrees. From that angle, you label your sides. So you should have labeled this side as your opposite and this side down here as your adjacent. And since opposite and adjacent goes with the tangent function, you're using the tangent function. Make sense? So then you plug in what you're given. So the angle measure, like I said, was 39. Opposite was side x. Adjacent was the side that is 206 feet. And then you're solving for x from there. So get the x by itself. Get rid of that denominator by multiplying it on each side. What you should have entered in your calculator was 206 times tangent of 39, which makes the height, so your final answer, about 166.82 feet. I know the hard part is setting it up, so I didn't help you set this one up. I kind of wanted you to see how you guys are doing at that. So again, just figuring out what the question is asking for, which is this missing piece, and using your trig function. Questions on this one? All right, example 6, sorry. We have the distance from the observer to a train is 5,000 feet, so that's already labeled. The distance from the train to the plane is 27,500 feet, so that was already labeled as well. We need to find this missing angle of elevation from the observer to the plane. All right, if this other angle was labeled, then that would be really easy because then we just put the same angle, right? But they didn't, so we have to solve for it algebraically. And from the perspective of this angle, you should have labeled the sides opposite and adjacent, just like this. All right, opposite's directly across, adjacent is right next to. And then, like we said before, tangent is the only function that has opposite and adjacent in it. But what you should have noticed, and what you also should have noticed on your quiz, was that if I'm missing an angle measure, I have to use the inverse function. So the opposite of tangent, which is tangent to the -1. All right, because that's how you get the x by itself when it's just tangent next to it. So then you have the tan to the -1, put that fraction in, opposite over adjacent. So that answer should have been about 79.70 degrees. All right, questions, comments on this one? All right, one more you try. Maybe you did it, maybe not. But we have number 7, you try. So distance from observer to plane is now 40,000 feet. So now we have the hypotenuse labeled. The distance from the plane to the balloon is 5,000 feet. That's already labeled. Find the angle of depression from the plane to the observer. So this angle, it's the angle of depression because it's going from the plane to the observer. So it's that angle. All right, given what we have here, just like how we did yesterday and on the quiz today, look at it from the perspective of the angle. Label your sides. So hypotenuse is always your longest side, across from the 90-degree angle. Adjacent is the other side that's not the hypotenuse, that also touches the angle. All right, this time we use cosine because that's the only one that has adjacent and hypotenuse together. So here it is plugged in. Notice it's the angle measure that we're solving for again. So the only way to get x by itself when it's just cosine that's next to it is to do the inverse of cosine, which is cosine to the -1. Still adjacent over hypotenuse and then 82-ish degrees. Make sense? Any questions? All right, so we'll start the break now, the one that I would normally wait till like 9:30, but we'll just start it now. When you guys come back, you'll have like 15 minutes, maybe even just 10 minutes to work on the practice because it's only 4 problems. So it's a worksheet that's on the back table, only 4 problems. But I'll let you have a 15-minute break starting now. So back at 9:39.